A very warm welcome to the channel. Now, I didn't really plan to make a video today, but I found myself at a loose end and thought, hey, why not? It's a lovely Friday afternoon. It's baking hot, actually. This is meant to be the rainy season, but it feels like summer where temperatures are like really hot indeed. It's very humid. And this sort of like gave me saying, let me do a video of like the negative kind of things about living in Southeast Asia, and one of them is the weather. In the summer, it can get incredibly hot, up to 40 degrees. Now, summer in Southeast Asia is sort of like March, April, half of May. Then supposedly it's meant to start to rain, and yes, we had lots of rain so far, thank God, and it did bring the temperatures down. But at the moment it seems to be no rain, and it just feels like summer. And the humidity, yeah, it's very hot. So at the moment you just have to move very slowly. So these are sort of some of the negative things that you have in Southeast Asia is the heat. The best time to visit, and the best time for most people who live here or in this area of the world, is sort of like November, December, January, and maybe half of February time, where they call it the high season, and it's about 31, 32 degrees during the daytime. The humidity goes down, but in the evening it gets to like 22, 23, 24, which is really nice when you want to go out for a evening meal. That's one thing that I just wanted to get off my chest for today. I got nothing absolutely or anything planned for this. This is just completely sort of like random related to this. You may notice behind me, you can see there is my suitcase, and I am going on holiday on Thursday. I'm going to Thailand for 5 days. It's just over the border. The ticket price I managed to get on Air Asia is $208 return, including luggage but no food. My old airline of Thai Smile has seemed to have disappeared, which is a great shame. It's a great shame because they actually did really good prices. All the times of flying, one was in the morning, and then he used to come back on the return journey about either in the morning or the afternoon, not super late at night or anything like that, which was great for me. The only bad thing nowadays about living in Siem Reap, if you are traveling, the airport is like maybe 45 minutes to an hour away by tuk-tuk. If you do it by car, maybe it's about 35 minutes. If you do it by bus, possibly the same journey time as tuk-tuk. But remember, the bus has to stop. It's like the airport shuttle bus there. But the airport is actually really cool. It's air conditioning. The check-in is actually quite easy. The security and immigration is done, both of them combined, within about 5 minutes, so that's easy. There is a Burger King inside the airport. There is a couple of coffee shops, and they do have some outdoor areas, which is really nice. And especially if you smoke, you can go to one side and puff away, unlike airports in Bangkok where there's zero smoking at all. In London there is smaller places, but you really have to search for them. So that's one of the, it's great to have a new airport, and it's great to have a, you could say, international style. I do believe they can land a 777 there, Boeing 777 there, which makes it bigger, and possibly in the future we can have more airplanes there. It is actually done with the Belt and Road Initiative in China with Yunnan Investment Agency, I do believe. What else? Anything else really happening here? The cost of living, I sort of done this quite often. Recently, I just paid my internet bill for next year. Now, I do have a public IP, which you can get here, but get ready for this. It was $660, including tax. Now, you can get a lot cheaper, and if you do rent an apartment, this is usually going to be incorporated into your rent, and you didn't really have to worry about it. But please note, if that apartment building is full, they may have a public IP, but all the lines out of that is going to be private, and it's going to be quite limited. I think you would be able to watch Netflix most of the time, but when you watch Netflix, you need about 25 Mbps if you want to have it in 4K. If you're happy with HD, then it's going to work a lot better. And it does vary on the TV that you may have in your rented apartment. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Not really, to be really honest with you. I would like to thank all the people who do subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. That seems to be growing very slowly but very effectively every day. For the people who are a bit generous, many thanks to all the donations with the super thanks and also becoming a channel member. And no, I can't really think of anything else. So it's just a pop in, pop out and saying, hello, how are you? What's happening? This is happening in Asia. I'm looking forward to November time because it's just weird this year because it was a baking hot summer, a really baking hot summer. Whew. And then it sort of like cooled down again. Now it's become like really hot. My air conditioning, look, it's at 20 degrees. I'm blowing out 20 degrees and my room is at 31. So it's sort of like really hot at the moment and I'm sort of struggling with it. And these are the negative sides of China. If you are going to, of Cambodia, Southeast Asia, if you are going to go out, you go out early in the morning. And if you are going to go out, don't go out daytime if at all possible and just go out in the evening when it does cool down a little bit. But I think we're all looking for these certain temperatures coming up in November time. I am waffling on about, now I was going to do coffee chat with this, but I ran out of coffee, so we're just doing water chat instead. Talking about water, you can get water filters in this country, but I would just recommend you getting the blue bottle of water. In the city centre, it's usually about $1. If you do get a delivery service, you can get like 10 bottles of water, and they may offer it for like say $8 or $9. We live in the countryside, and we get it for that kind of price, so that's ideal for that water. Electricity, I have 3 air conditioning units. Now I do live in a house and not an apartment, so it is actually 20 cents per unit compared to if you live in an apartment where it's 25 cents per unit. So if you have, I have like 1 air conditioning running near enough, not all 3 of them, just 1, and I have 1 here, and then when I finish in here, for example, if I go to the bedroom for a nap, then I turn it on there, but then when I watch TV downstairs, I turn off the bedroom. I don't leave them running at the same time. And last month I think was like $107 for that. Compare it to your country, so you're running 1 air conditioning unit 24 hours a day, how much would it cost for you? And electricity here is about the same price as other places in Southeast Asia. I think it's about the same as you would get it in, let's say, Thailand, for example. And that's another cost of living. I have talked about it before. Water, usually if you rent, it can be an additional, my last apartment, it was sort of $15 that we paid 1 bulk price for per month, but it can be done per unit, or per unit, and that can vary, or is it incorporated into the house expense. I think that's all I'm going to rabbit on about for today. I just literally saying, hi, how are you? Everything okay? And doing not always the positive things, but like the cost of living and some of the negative things living here in Cambodia. God bless to all. I will leave it there. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.